So yeah, lads, this is it. It's looking good. It's looking good. Like I saw earlier today that it was Kurt Miller and Stephanie White and a college coach. It was down to the three of them for the Indiana Fever job. And my preferences would be, I don't really care which of Kurt Miller or Stephanie White gets a job. I think Kurt Miller's a really good coach. I think Kurt Miller's a better offensive coach. I think Stephanie White is a better defensive coach. And I think you need a better defensive coach because the Caitlin Clark, like, just let Caitlin be Caitlin, you're going to be good in offense. But we've now got, like, Stephanie White leaving the Connecticut Sun. And I mean this, lads. The Sun fans are not happy. They are not happy at all. Like, this is going to be massive. This is going to be absolutely massive. But, yeah, like, we're looking at it right here about, like, what, Stephanie White leaving, everybody getting fired. She's obviously not gotten fired. Like, the whole thing is that I actually do think the Stephanie White leaving Connecticut Sun has more to do with the family issues than it does to do with wanting to coach the Fever. Because obviously she has stated, and she's like, basketball's not the biggest priority. And I do think if she wants to win a ring next year, both teams have an equal chance of winning a ring. I don't think they're the Liberty. I don't think they're the Lynx. And both these teams are going to be better than the Aces next year. But that's the thing when it comes to this whole situation where it's like, you just kind of have to. You have to make the best decision for yourself. And like, if she needs to be back in Illinois, basically in Indiana, going to the Fever makes the most sense. So she's coming home. Don't really understand this one. Like, she's obviously not been fired. Fever signing her by tonight. She'll be the Fever coach tomorrow. Next up, stop Indiana. Welcome home, Coach White. And by the way, we called her crazy. Everyone called her crazy. KDK, the prophet. The absolute prophet of, she's the prophet of Indiana right now. Like, the one thing I will say when it comes to Stephanie White, though, is she is a much better, I mean this, much better coach than Christy Sides. Like, we don't have to watch Sides ball. Like, can we just get some celebration right now? Like, the Indiana Fever, Indiana needs to throw a parade. We don't have to watch Sides ball anymore. We don't have to watch Caitlin Clark go and stand in the corner. We don't have to watch the team go on a huge run by pushing the tempo and then trying to take control by slowing the game down. We don't have to watch Sides ball. And by the way, the Fever fan, or not the Fever fans, the Sun fans, they're not happy. Connecticut Sun fans absolutely losing in thought of Stephanie White replacing Christy Sides. So you're seeing it right here. 1 second, let me zoom in, so I will open image in new tab. But if you're looking at this right here, she wanted to go to Indiana. Good luck with the Caitlin cult. What the hell, you guys have been at the top for 2 years. Wow. She's definitely got a fever. I think she's got a fever. She's definitely on a fever, man. Parting ways doesn't make sense. I mean, I hate to see her in Indiana. I'm sick. And the best part is that we saw it from, I'll see if I can find it here. I want to see, obviously I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Post this guy right here, Ricky, where he's just listed 3 people and is like, if these people are saying the Christy side should have kept her job, you know for a fact she should have been fired. You know for a fact she should have been fired. And you've now got like you find a job, everyone finds a job. I wonder who takes the Connecticut Sun job. Do they just say, Kurt Miller, do you want to come back? Do you want to come back? You know who actually I think would be a decent enough coach for the Connecticut Sun if they run it back? Do you know who I think would be a decent coach? And call me crazy. Therese Weatherspoon. I don't think she'd be a bad coach for this team. I think she kind of got blinded a bit by Angel, but I actually don't think she'd be the worst coach in the world for the Connecticut Sun. But yeah, so what's likely going to happen with the Sun is Dejanay. I'm sorry, Dejanay. Dejanay Carrington is probably going to be like the only one left. They might keep Bree Jones, DeWanna Bonner, and Alyssa Thomas. The rumor is they're both going to Phoenix. So if the two of those go to Phoenix, like they're a package deal, but the rumor is they're not going to stay in Connecticut. At the same time, though, you're going to have to give up quite a lot. Like it's going to be something like I know Phoenix, I don't think they have their 2025 pick, but like you're probably going to get the Phoenix, or you know, I don't think they have their 2026 pick, sorry. But you're probably going to get 2027 for Phoenix. Celeste Taylor, Natasha Mack, like those type of things, like young assets and a pick. That's probably what you're going to get for Alyssa Thomas, and DeWanna Bonner is just going to walk. So that'll be a ridiculous team in Phoenix. I wouldn't be surprised if DeWanna Bonner and Taurasi take like last year of their career deals and they got to finish their career together. But if you are the Connecticut Sun, for me, what I would do is I would re-sign Dejanay. I would trade Marina Mabrey. You can't get anything crazy from Marina Mabrey. You gave it a good go this year, and I think it was worth the risk if you knew that AT and Bonner were leaving. But I would give Marina Mabrey to... I'm trying to think of a team that could do with Marina Mabrey. Like the Wings, maybe send her back to Dallas and get like a 2027 first for her, 2026. Just get a first for Marina Mabrey. I think that's a better value right now. And then you can get you can get decent value for Dejanay, unless you think Dejanay is going to be your player through the rebuild. If not, you can get something for Dejanay. And then you do, for me anyway, the Sun do have one really good like prospect. They have one really good person to keep through a rebuild, and that is that's Layla Lacan. I think Layla Lacan is like, she's French, she's like 19. I think she's the she's kind of their best asset. That most people don't know who she is, but she was so good. She's like a 5'8", or not 5'8", like she's like a 5'11" long wingspan, freaky athletic point guard who can play the two, can guard wings, can guard bigs. Like she's like a much better, like she's like Celeste Taylor with offense almost. But no, she's like she could be a player. She could be a player sooner rather than later. But obviously you can see here it's happening, isn't it, for Indiana? And yeah, Stephanie White is gone. Stephanie White's gone, and it's very interesting what this is going to mean for the Connecticut Sun. But what this means for the Indiana Fever is very likely Stephanie White's the coach. It'll be madness if Stephanie White ends up being the Chicago coach, but Stephanie White's going to one of those two teams. She's either going to Indiana or she's going to Chicago because they are closer to home. And I think this is more of a, I still want to coach basketball, but I need to be home, more than it is a, like, I really, really want to coach the Fever or the Sky. But my theory is one of the Fever are either going to get Stephanie White. I think she's already agreed to deal with one of the Sky or the Fever. If she signs with the Sky, Kurt Miller is going to be the Fever coach. If she signs the Fever, I have no idea who's going to be the Sky coach. But yeah, that's the video.